No pre-video, just me showing up randomly. Sometimes that's just the very best way to be. Be yourself. Be yourself. Just gonna ground anyone that's gonna come in here and bring you into this space as we use our voice. That is our frequency, our vibration, our tone, and opening our throat chakra to speak some truth. For we each have truth within us that deserves to be shared. Yeah, welcome. Today, I wanted to speak about discernment. It's a important word, and I think the opposite of that, empowerment, empowerment, so that we have the ability to empower ourselves. Yeah, that's what we want to do. And so discernment shows up. So let's go back a little bit and explain how I believe. Here's my belief right now, and my beliefs change all the time. That I believe we are on this path, this journey for a reason. We go through as a soul having a human experience. We choose to come in here. We choose the family we come into. We choose the experiences we're going to have, although there's some free will in there that will definitely show up as well. And as we go through this life, certain events and things will occur. And some of us, especially me, very, very black sheep that always went the other way, was always considered, why can't you just, go along and get along? I didn't know how. I always had to see. I always had to explore for myself, even if it was to my own detriment. And so this is how I went through life. And as we go through life and we become more aware, and it was only, well, it's been 10, 11 years now that I've been started off with what I would call personal development, because that's what it was called then, and moved into more of a spirituality, a way of seeing the world in a new way, a way of realizing that my eyes are projectors. So we all think we're consuming things in, but if you look at the makeup of the eyes and how it works with the brain, it's actually a projector. Okay, so then we're creating our reality, and our vibration and our thoughts and our words and our actions are what we create this reality through. And as we go through life, we have experiences. So depending on where you're at, and I'm being asked to say, he used to say, you'd stub your toe and then you drop something and everything always happens in threes. Well, that was part of a program, wasn't it? So you believed that there had to be a third thing coming in, and then it was done. You're like, okay, that's over with. That's done. And so as we go through life and we start to realize, I'm actually creating everything, and people and places and things show up for you that you are drawn to, that you feel are good for you, and you move forward with them. And I can say I've had many experiences, especially in the last 3 years, around specific people showing up in life. And I always, always, always see the good in everyone and the good in everything. So I'm going to say that these things showing up that maybe you realize you gave too much attention and intention to, and you realize, maybe that wasn't for my highest good. But boy, did I learn a beautiful lesson in discernment. And so, hello, Cindy. Good to see you. Hey, Shay. Good to see you too. I'm very excited to have you guys here. We're just talking about discernment and the ability to, have these experiences, and rather than judging them, so going into that judgment, we can instead say, use my discernment there, and I'm going to choose wisely about what I do. And as we go through this life and we go through what is considered the energetic spiral, you have like a compass, and you're the middle, and you draw yourself out, and you have specific experiences, and based on how much energy you're taking up, how much space you're willing to vibrate out to, you will draw in different experiences, different people, different places, and different things, different events that occur for you. And as we go through these events and we come to one that's quite, oh, this feels familiar. I think I've been here before. Now, are you going to choose to respond differently or are you going to react in the same old way? This is discernment. To be discerning enough to even know that when something doesn't work out the way you thought it would, it's not to berate yourself, it's not to be angry at yourself. It's to go, "Oh, thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me that." Because the most valuable lessons I've ever had have been really strong lessons, especially in Powell painting, where I will never forget those lessons. I will never forget. Like I'll use social media as an example because it's a really good one for me. I've had people that I work with because it's not my forte. It's not what I know. So I bring in what I perceive to be somebody that knows more than me, and I work with them. Mhm. Nobody has this game fully figured out. It's quite random in the way that it works because the algorithm is always changing. Even if you think you know the algorithm, you can put so much energy and so much effort into posting every day. For the last company, we posted every single day, multiple times a day, reels, stories. What do they call the ones? I can't remember what they're called when you just sit there. Anyways, you sit there and drink a cup of coffee and some words come up. But none of it felt authentic for me. I could do it. I could say a few words around a sentence or statement or share on somebody else's video, but at the end of the day, it just never felt authentic. This is a me. This is how I like to show up. This is how I like to play. I just randomly decided, hey, I'm going to go live. And I chose Facebook and YouTube today. Now, that doesn't mean I won't shift it to something else another day, but I just felt that this is me. This is who I am. This is how I like to show up. And I love to be fun and playful. And so we've been rewriting some of the website content, and there's some pretty funny things coming out. So I'm looking forward to you guys seeing that. We've actually been laughing about it this morning, and it just feels lighter and more playful. So, what do you need to do to lighten up and be more playful? Last night, we went out in the snow. We went for a beautiful um, snow walk, lots of lights and the hearts that are up there, had good conversation, and just really took in another perspective. And then after dinner, we went and had some dinner. And then after dinner, we went back out and I'm like, oh, let's do it the other way this time. Let's do it counterclockwise. Let's go backwards on the trail because they always guide you, right? Light walk, it's this way, go this way, then this way. And so we went backwards. I'm like, well, we're not trying. We're digesting our dinner. Let's get it activated and let's do it backwards. And I feel, and here's how I gamify things. If I'm doing a trail or a drive and I'm going in a specific way, I'm conscious, am I going clockwise or am I going counterclockwise? And I go on my intuition. But I was very intent that, oh, we're going to go counterclockwise as we're digesting our meal. We're letting this go and bringing in a different energy for it. And so it's a good time to have conversations about things that you would like to let go of when you go counterclockwise. Yes, I'm back. I was trying to go live just on YouTube and it was like, I don't like this setup. So didn't resonate as much as here. So I figured I could go on both. So good to see you, Rhea. Yeah. And as we do these clockwise or counterclockwise, I even do it when I'm running a bath and I put figure eights in my bath. You can do so many things with a little more attention, intention, right? If I'm clearing water or I'm clearing, we were drinking water last night and I was like, oh, it's not the best water. So I just spoke into it, right? So that it had a new intention before it went into my body. We are that powerful. We are that strong. And quite often we don't realize that until You use your discernment and realize, "Oh, man, I learned a lot from that lesson. I learned a lot to listen to myself, to follow my gut, to follow my intuition." And more lessons will show up as we go around this circle. So let's do some unbinding and winding and give ourselves some love and grace for what we've been through and where we come to at this point. Yeah, it's really, really, really profound and beautiful for me to get to play. And I like to call it the magic toolbox, right? What's in your magic toolbox? You've got your voice, your frequency, your hands are terminals. You have the opportunity to direct, redirect, let go of, bring in energetically as we go through this, and we keep our energy expanded to attract more of that which we desire. And as we build that up, we become more magnetic because you are a magnetic, electromagnetic being. And now remembering your beliefs, your thoughts that are coming in that build up your beliefs, if we can just observe thoughts and not attach to them, which then anchors in a point, which stops us, which shrinks your magnetic field, because now you're stuck in a thought. And this is how I feel people with depression, anxiety, mm, maybe a distorted belief. And it's not right or wrong because even a distorted belief will teach you so much. What once you let go of it and you release it, again, you lose that stagnancy and you expand back out again and you magnetize more of that which you desire. So be conscious of what you're focused on and what you're willing to put your intention into to empower yourself. Yeah. Movement can really help to move things around. Absolutely. I did a little walk around the block the other day just to move some energy. And I know when I need to, or I have a bath, or I dance, or I stretch, or if you can even just imagine, you can be sitting in your car or sitting here and just imagine grounding into Mother Earth. And when you want to clear your field, just clear your field. Even just doing that. Huh, whatever doesn't need to be here can go, right? And if you go up on your tippy toes and do that, as you're setting this grounding intention and activation, bringing the light up through the chakras, out the top of your head and around, it's a beautiful dance you can do. And I will capture that one on video at some point. Yeah, absolutely, Rebecca. As we go through this journey, as we become more powerful beings, we'll inevitably attract more darkness because of our amplified light. There's a lot of people experiencing this right now, whether it be entities at night, um, more things happening. And it's funny because I'm always of the mind you can't touch this, right? But here's the thing, it can get a little bit sneaky. Our mission is to alchemize that darkness into light, always. That's exactly it. And even when we're out and about, you are doing so much more than you've been led to believe. Every time you go in a store, every time you go grocery shopping, every time you go into a crowded place, you're shifting that energy. We can't see it with these eyes, but it is there, I promise. I promise. Just like, your cell phone works, but you can't see the tower. You can't see the waves going up. Just how my computer's hooked up to Wi-Fi or the camera's working and it's capturing me and putting me on here. Just all that, even energetically, is quite profound. That's where we're at. Well, I can tell you where we're going is going to be telepathic. It's going to be a lot more within. And so as we amplify this, and remote viewing. I can see some remote viewing going on in the near future. That was coming in yesterday. And what else? Food changes. Yeah. but I never beat myself up about any of the decisions or choices I used to. Okay, here's another example. I've had 2 abortions. I was young, definitely was not the right time, and I felt guilty about those for years. You just when I thought about it, it wasn't often, but I was like, now that I've had Jade and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's not funny. It's a decision that I made and I have to live with that decision." And that's what you were always told. You have to live with your decisions, right? But in doing that, in in realizing that those souls were never meant to be here. It was never meant to birth those children, but they are with me. Those little souls got to amplify and expand themselves because of my light, because of my energy. And that, even though, right, they didn't come into this realm, that's okay. They weren't meant to, but they are with. They are around, they're supporting, and they are amplified because of that. So the amount of soul growth from getting to come in, right, but not stay is huge. And so really quite beautiful that and it shifted my entire perspective around it. So when you shift your beliefs, it's like a weight's taken off and it's like, "Oh, okay." And so doing and we've talked a lot recently about shadow work and doing shadow work and bringing whatever you bring to the light gets amplified so much, whether it's darkness around you or within you. And for me, it's always been, what do I need to know that I don't know? What would you like to show me that I'm not even aware of? And so I can use an example, and my mom didn't answer me, and so it's for me to know. But was having visions of being in a A-frame, like an attic space, and there was an older gentleman up there, and there was a little girl. And I have a feeling when I asked my mom, I said, "Was that me or was that you?" And the answer is, it was actually both of us. Now, I don't fully recall exactly what was going down, but all I know is that, that's something for me to alchemize. I don't need to dig into it. I don't need to excavate it and pull it all out. I can just honor it and sit with it and go, okay. Knowing what we know now and knowing when I was talking about even, murderers, for example, we just don't know what they went through. So you're responsible for your beliefs. You're responsible to adjust them if you choose. And this is part of that really big experience. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, no need to fear the dark. Yeah, the darkness tried to pierce through that little hole of fear in me, and I ended up kicking it out. Yeah, because it's just looking for the weakness within, which is a gift. Oh, thank you for showing me that I had that, that hole in my awareness, right? That I was willing to allow to entertain that thought pattern, to not just observe it go by and go, "Pff, no, thank you." Right? And you will find as we go through this, I know it's not done. I know we're not done being challenged. That's just part of this reality to have these experiences. But as we go and we get stronger and stronger through it, and not so much stronger as in, got superpowers. In a way, yes, but stronger in the ability to use discernment to see things that are unseen, right? So to perceive the unperceivable almost, because those as your awareness expands and as your magnetization expands, you're gonna have all kinds of new things show up. And then what do you do with them? So, yeah, let's see what happens next. That's what's so exciting. Yeah. Attention, intention. Good news. Today I booked Sedona, Arizona. Here's one of those things going through and waiting. And I had to wait and wait. And I was like, can I book it now? No, wait. Oh, I really wanna book it where we're staying. And so I don't like to leave things, I like to get them done, right? And we all do. Like, get it done. Let's just get it done, get it booked, and be done with it, right? Well, because I waited, um, there was a special place that came up, and it even had a little bit of a discount. Woo-wee. Yeah, it was perfect. And so that's all booked in and very exciting. And I look forward to really connecting with the energies there again. And I was grateful. I'm like, all right, thank you for forcing me to wait, so to speak. Because everything can happen in divine timing if you allow it. There will always be a smooth, quick, easy access to things, and there'll be other times where it's just not quite lined up. I'm going to push through anyway, and you make it happen, and you go, "Yeah, I kind of forced that one." So being in flow wherever you go. You're not worried about anything. You're not afraid of anything. You're just going to be a high vibe, sending out that beautiful frequency that is you, showing up with your energy, being authentically you while still using discernment and carrying around your magic toolkit. Got my magic toolkit. And you got many things you're going to be adding to your toolkit. Yeah. I'm super grateful for this adventure and this experience. And yeah, we got this. Every little cell in my body is healthy. Every little, sing it with me. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell is healthy and well. Use your affirmations, make your commandments, ask for that which you desire. And on a funny note too, I was laughing my ass off today. So I do pay attention a little bit to the collective online. And so we spoke about it on was that yesterday? That was yesterday, Sunday, about the tariffs. And then this morning, oh, we spoke with the president and we're gonna commit 1.3 billion to the border, Trudeau says, and we have a 30-day extension on the tariffs. And I just started laughing and I was like, this is why we just observe from a neutral position and don't get out there and lose a bunch of energy screaming and yelling about that which we don't like and what we're going to do about it. Because at the end of the day, you can't control it. Yeah, you can band together and it creates common unity when the government's the one making all the mistakes, doesn't it? But can we band enough to get to a complete unity among souls, having this human experience to realize we all want the exact same thing? And so I think we've got a little more time of this division, so to speak. Um, but we're coming closer all the time. Yeah. And let's see what happens next. I find it very entertaining. If I get to laugh from it, well, then that's saying something, right? I get to laugh. So yeah. And I was just discerning about it. Oh, you sang that song to your nurse tech and she loved it. Awesome. Yeah, it's such a good song. I can't even remember who first taught me that song. I think we were out on a hike and I was doing a little dance, doing a little jig, and she started singing that. And I was like, that's the best song ever. Every kid needs to sing that full time to realize that we can talk to ourselves, which are like a little universe unto themselves. Yeah, that joy is your set point. Yeah. And so I will choose joy over all else. I will do funny things just so I can laugh at myself and be silly because therein lies my own joy, right? If I can laugh at myself, right? And I can make other people laugh because I'm being silly and having some fun. I embarrass Jade all the time because I'll start dancing in public. She's like, "Mom." I'm like, "You don't have to look, Jade. You can look the other way or you can walk over there." But definitely fully entertaining. And then as I was saying, as we have these beautiful connections, that nothing is random. Randomly today, and it snowed all day, so I was out doing appointments for Powell Painting, and I was going to run an errand, so I parked, and I'm like, "Oh, really have to go to the washroom." And so I went into a cafe to get a matcha tea, and I thought, "Oh, it's lunchtime, I can have a matcha tea, that'd be a nice treat." Well, I walk in the door and I run into somebody I hadn't seen in a couple of years. I was like, "Huh, that's why I'm here." Right? Just to have a conversation, and so we sat and we had a beautiful conversation about life. And those are the moments that right? It's not random. You're meant to run into them. You're meant to say hello. You're meant to feel your heart expand as you have this beautiful conversation. Yeah. And that we're all here to live our very best life, to guide the souls that we've brought into this realm and to clean up the lineage, so to speak, if you choose, but don't go down that rabbit hole too long, for you are the one here experiencing this right now. And so you do what you need to do for you to get you to the level you choose to be. And a lot of people are, "Oh, I can't wait to go to 5D. We're splitting. We're going to 5D." And I'm like, "Well, you won't have a body there. That's interesting." And so it took me a long time to get to this point where it's like in this 3D is where we get to have this fun and play and manifest. I'm not done here. Are you? We have a 5D consciousness, so we can see that big perspective, so that we can bring in energies from other areas to be supportive and healing for others, to energize ourselves, to dream a new dream, to create a new reality. We are creatrix. We are utilizing the matrix to create that which we desire, a new way of being, a new opportunity. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Yeah. And so, yeah, don't forget that. You bring the joy. And Rebecca, I loved, or Raya, I loved all your market videos and the beach videos. Those were awesome. Yeah, super beautiful. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to go and see if my created healthy version of peanut butter cups, which I mixed. I have glyphosate-free oats, and I put them in the bullet and made flour from it. And then you mix that with the peanut butter, maple syrup, how Canadian, maple syrup for sweetener, and then I have these beautiful dark chocolate cocoa chips, and I put those on top. And I think it might be ready now, because now would be a good time to have a little snack before dinner. So, yes, I'll post the recipe, love. I'm gonna make sure it's good first, although I had a little taste and it was good. And I'm gonna be working on, yeah, a whole bunch more recipes about different ways, and I know Shay's gotten into the chia seed pudding. That's a beautiful way to cleanse the system. Some people drink it with water and you make chia water, and that's what you drink, but it keeps you full. So it's a different way of doing a cleanse as well. So there's many ways of playing in this realm. And so yes, I will share that recipe in Telegram. So absolutely. Shay calls them fleas. Shay calls chia seeds fleas. Which is awesome. It makes me laugh. All right, beautifuls. I love you so much. Have an awesome evening.